Peggy 12.
I think that good story is pretty universal. Finding ways to tell stories that touch everybody. Stories about conflict, about love, about friendship. And in our case, it's in a fantastical background with dragons and the end of the world impending.
Returning to Elona and Crystal Desert is something that we have been planning for from the beginning of the launch of Guild Wars 2.
We're bringing back old gods. Why not visit old places?
It was a pretty easy decision to go back to Elona, to give players a little dose of what they've had before, but expanded, and to perpetuate the story we've begun and to address some of the major questions players have had.
You do want to present your players with mysteries. You want them to go on a journey with you in exploring and answering these questions. They want to know what happened to the gods. They want to know what happened in the last 250 years in the Crystal Desert. And most of all, they want to know what happens to their character.
It makes more sense for us to go down the road less traveled and find things that make players question their actions as opposed to simple answers. Our players are smarter than that.
It's a pivot. Players have been contesting against Elder Dragons since the game launched. We have beaten 2 of the Elder Dragons of a possible 6. And as a result of beating these 2 cosmic scale entities, we're starting to see the repercussions. It seems very much like we shouldn't kill any more Elder Dragons, but lo and behold, here comes Balthazar. The crystal dragon Kralkatorrik is one of the only viable targets left. We received a vision from the Eye of Janthir that showed Balthazar active in the Crystal Desert, apparently hunting Kralkatorrik.
I think the fact that we're fighting a god this time around is pretty heavy stuff. And not just any god, mind you. This is the god of war.
He is so consumed by his purpose. That kind of character is exciting to write for because he never gives up. There's a problem in front of me, I'm gonna beat it into submission, stomp over its broken body, and move on to the next thing. But he's always moving forward. So players know what Balthazar's objective is, but we don't know his motivation. We have to make sure he doesn't make things worse in an already bad situation. We have an enormous list of interesting characters, and it's challenging to have them all involved at once. We knew what the player's goal was, we knew what our antagonist's goal was. We chose those characters who could help the player achieve their objective.
In terms of story arcs, we have Ritlock. He makes his return to the team.
He is one of the few party members that has been in the Crystal Desert before. Ritlock gets to confront his past and the things that happened here. And for me, that was a great opportunity to connect with players over this beloved character. There's also Casimir, who I find a very interesting character.
Exploring Casimir's crisis of faith was enormous fun. As a writer and a narrative person, it's a really meaty issue to dig into.
One of her gods has come back and is walking the desert. It's really hard to ask her, hey, yeah, fight against someone that you've believed in all your life. The strength of your team is based on the strength of your teammates. And because of that, we have focused quite a bit on the relationship with these characters. How are they going to solve the problems that confront them while following you? Going down that lore rabbit hole can be a total trip. For me, a lot of it is relying on my teammates. Story is absolutely a collaborative thing. We talk about what is this person's internal struggle? Would it be believable if this character used this weapon in this fight? And once we all agree, then it can be really awesome in that we all hit it at different angles. We ask art support, we ask the writers to support us, we make gameplay that supports that. So we all try and reinforce one vision for the story.
Path of Fire is a more complex story than we've told before. Once you enter the desert, you're not going to want to leave, and that's what I'm hoping the genuine reaction is.
I really want players to feel excited about being in this new part of Tyrion finally. I want them to feel an even greater, deeper connection to these characters, that they're growing alongside them.